Let's make the fastest apron you've ever made. It all starts with a tea towel. You can buy a patterned tea towel, or you can have a plain tea towel and add some embroidery to it for an extra special touch. Today, I'm going to simply show you this cute little plaid tea towel and how to turn it into an apron. You're going to need, in addition to the towel, you're going to need 7/8 inch grosgrain ribbon. You can go bigger. You can go all the way up to a 1.5 inch if you'd like to. I just had the 7/8 inch on hand. You'll need an acrylic ruler, a marking pen of some type. This is heat soluble. You can use chalk or an erasable marker. And you're also going to need a good size safety pin. All right, to get started, the ribbon is measured. You can put a piece of ribbon around your waist, and then you're gonna add 20 inches to that length. Then first thing we need to do for the project is, depending on how wide your ribbon is, we're going to fold the tea towel in half lengthwise rather. You're gonna fold it in half lengthwise and have the fold at the very top. And depending on your ribbon width, we're going to measure down. I think for the 7/8, I think I'd like to do a 1.5 inch measurement from the top to the bottom. We're going to measure all the way across, and then we're going to stitch it to create a casing that you'll then thread your ribbon through at the end of the project. So if you're using a wider ribbon, you do need to give yourself some extra room there. If you're doing a 7/8 inch ribbon, I would recommend a 1.5 inch casing. If you're doing a 1.5 inch ribbon, I would recommend 2 inches or 2.25 inches marking there. So we're doing the 1.5 inch mark. All right, and you're simply going to use your marking pen and mark across the lower edge, all the way across. That will just tell you on your sewing machine where you're going to sew. And we're going to sew I'm going to do a triple stitch because I want it very strong. I want it to hold. You can do a single stitch if you'd like, but I'm going to tie in and also tie off at the ends. So we'll be right back. Okay, I've stitched along that marked line here. I can go ahead and heat this. It will take away the pen mark, but I'll do that off camera. I want to be able to show you. You're going to thread your safety pin through the end of the ribbon, and you're simply going to insert it into the casing that you just created on the towel. And then just work that through to the other end. Right, and then you'll just thread it through until you have 2 ends that match up. I just got mine twisted up in there a little bit. Make sure it's lying flat. That's flat. I've got a little twist in the center there, so let me just turn that and shimmy it a little bit. All right. And then you want to thread it through until you have 2 of the same lengths on the ends of the ribbon. Once it's completed, you can go ahead and tie it around your waist, tie it in a bow, and see if it needs any additional length taken off. One quick tip on the lengths: you can use a lighter carefully and run it along the edge, the raw edge of the ribbon. Since this is made of polyester, it will melt slightly and it will prevent it from fraying. You can also use a product like Fray Check on that. And you can also, if you don't want your ribbon to ever pull out, you can go ahead and sew a couple of stitches. Make sure the ribbon is pulled up towards the top edge, and then sew a couple of stitches here. That'll keep it in place. You can alternately also do them on the ends, just using thread to match your towel. And that's how simple it is. Imagine all the pretty embroidery designs that you can stitch on this towel. There's so many different options. Pickle Pie's new flower in the vase would be perfect on this towel. Thank you for watching.